Welcome back to Sawyer Ridge Farm. I'm Jacob. Today's going to be a special day. We've been waiting to do this for a while. We're going to be clearing some, if not all, of the cedar trees back on here on our property, on this section of our property. We've been wanting to do this for a while, and we just now got the kind of the means and the help that we can do it. So we're going to be clearing a lot of these trees out of here. You can kind of see we taped off some trees. If they don't have the orange tape on them, we're still keeping them right now. But today our main focus is the cedars. And we had to do a lot of prep work before that, and we're going to show you some video of me doing just a little bit of prep work that I needed to do before this day. And then just start lobbing off some branches and give you an area to work in. And then when you get your area where you can kind of stand pretty good, then you just walk around the tree and start lobbing them off. I don't know if you could really tell what I was doing, but you just walk it around, and I do it pretty much how tall I am, so I'm not, poking my eyes out and stuff like that. And y'all may ask yourself, like, why don't you just cut the trees down instead of doing all this limbing? Well, we're not cutting the trees down right now, and I'm wanting to limb these just to prepare to cut them down, because as you can tell, it's hard to get in there, guys. And if you're cutting the tree down, there's all these limbs around, and when it falls, those limbs are going to be coming around and you're right there, and it's not a safe workspace when you're doing it that way. So you want to clear up the tree so you got good safe workspace, so when it does fall, a branch isn't coming back and smacking you in the face, or it can be very dangerous when you're cutting trees down. And always make sure that you're looking up before you start cutting trees down, especially if it's kind of a sketchy tree, because you get those widowmakers that come down, and those aren't very good. What I do on here on these cedars, just come over here and just make yourself a little area that you can work in, okay? And so right now I got this. Always stand over to the side. I learn just by doing, and I've learned these things hit you in the face. So kind of stand off to the side, get some limbs out from you, and now you got some workspace. All right, everything's good, and then you pretty much just go to town on it. That's pretty much how I use the axe whenever I'm doing this, and it's a good kind of technique on these cedars. Just clear out a spot where you can kind of move, and then just work yourself around. So it has came a long way, and like I said, I'm doing this because I'm having a bunch of guys come over, and we're going to be logging pretty much all these. We're cutting every cedar tree down in this area right now. We're not touching the goat pen right now, but that's what I needed to do beforehand, so we can come in here safely and be able to fall these trees in a safe manner. And so that was kind of just my prep work that I've been doing until then. So like we said, we're having some friends from church come out here and help us do this, guys, because there's a lot of trees. As you will see later, there's just so much, and it makes it a lot easier when you have a lot of hands. And we know we're going to get a lot of comments probably of, why are you cutting down all these trees? Because we're cutting down all these cedar trees. We're going to try to do as much as we can today. We don't know if we're going to get them all, but we want to get them all out of here. And over half of these trees in this area are cedars. And the reason why we're going to be cutting these down is because they're very invasive. I really like cedar, but for this property, I did some research, and they said that cedar trees, depending on their size, can suck 1 gallon to 40 gallons of water a day. And so this big one right here, this is a big cedar tree. It can suck a lot of water out from the ground, and you can just tell that with all these trees here, it's sucking all the water, and they grow so close together that the ground does not get any sunlight, and there's no grass that's growing. And when that doesn't happen, we live on a hill, and so when it rains, it just erodes all the soil out. And so what we're going to be doing is, when we cut all these, my goal for this part of the property is going to be like a wildlife. All the trees that are on here, I want every tree to have a purpose. I want it all to, because we got a lot of oak, persimmon, and so I want to be able to feed the wildlife. And you know, we use firewood, so there are trees here that are really good for firewood, and we'll let them get big. But that's mainly what we're doing here. We want to just build a better woods, better forest for the wilderness, for all the, you know, the critters, the deer and everything. And we will come in here and try to just kind of build the soil up a little bit, plant better trees. I want to, you know, plant some fruit trees and stuff more up in these, up on this hill. So that's the reason why we're doing it. We're not just here trying to cut a bunch of wood and just, you know, do nothing with it. We are going to try to save as much of these cedars as possible. Because like I said, I really like cedar, and you can do a lot with it. And so we're going to try to save as many things as we can on these trees. Save all the logs. Hopefully we have a wood chipper out here. We don't know. But the only thing that may go to waste is just some of the limbs. But we don't know exactly right now. But we'll start getting on here, and we'll let you see what we're going to be doing. So we just wanted to show you real quick on this is one of the main reasons why we're going to be cutting a lot of these trees out, is because they're very invasive, and when they become invasive, this is what happens. This right here is a persimmon tree, and I really want to keep this because this is really good for deer. But as you can tell, there is just nothing but cedars around. I mean, there's 20 cedars almost just in this little area. But as you can look, if you look up, you see this persimmon is just straggling up this cedar tree, and it's trying to get to the top, and it's not even above this cedar over this canopy. So over time, if we don't do anything about this thing's definitely gonna die. And there's oak trees and stuff kind of like this also, and that's the main thing I'm trying to do here. Take these cedars out so we can keep the good hardwoods and just good trees that produce nuts and fruits for the wildlife. And that's what we're trying to do here. We're just trying to manage these woods the best that we know how. And I can just see right now that these cedars are taking over, and they're going to start killing off the good trees that we want to keep. So those are our plans on why we're doing what we're doing. But y'all, we're going to get into today. It's probably going to be a long day, some good work, and we'll take you all along with us. Alright, so that's kind of going to wrap up today's video. It's getting dark and you know everyone's kind of is tired. So we're going to call it quits for the day. My buddy said that they're going to come out in a couple other days and we're going to continue this. But as you can kind of see, we got a good amount done. It may not look like a whole lot to you, but for us, we know exactly where everything was, and it's definitely a lot more clear than what it was before. And another thing is whenever you're clearing land, if you don't have a lot of heavy equipment and stuff like that, it takes time. You know, we're not going to get all these trees out of here in a day, 2 days, 3. I mean, it just takes time when you're cutting them by hand, and we're trying to get some side-by-sides and stuff out here so we can kind of start dragging them. And you know, we are keeping a lot of these logs, and one log right here, as you can see, it's a pretty good sized log, and we cut it to a length that we can, and I'm going to try to take this to a mill and get some slabs out of it, and we got some projects that we'll probably use with it. But we got some other trees like this, and we're trying to save as many as we can for fence posts and everything like that. We're kind of burning the limbs off right now because we don't have a wood chipper out here. Trying to get it, but it's just real difficult. But we just can't have all these limbs, so we are burning at least the limbs right now. As y'all can see, we still have a lot of work ahead of us. You know, we're just now starting this, and it's gonna take time. So this won't be the last video, you know, about, you know, us clearing. We're gonna probably, if y'all like this type of video, let us know in the comments, and we'll probably give you updates. Of course, you know, whenever we start doing other things of, you know, clearing out the trees and everything. But if y'all like this video, put it down in the comments, and, you know, telling us you like it. Hit that like button, and if you got questions about anything, you know, that's where the comments are for, y'all. And if you're not subscribed to our channel, hit the subscribe button, and then hit the bell for notifications. That'll notify you of new content that we put out. But we hope y'all like this video, and just stay tuned for extra videos to come. And y'all take care, and God bless.
Literally, it was coming out of my mouth. Let's hurry up before the rooster starts crowing.
Welcome back to the channel, y'all. Today is kind of a special day for us. We're going to be clearing let me do that again. We are going to be clearing our property's eroding because